to be a little lengthy video. This is going to be a January recap. It's going to be a February weigh-in, intention setting, etc. And just kind of talk to you about what's been happening, what's been going on, why I've been a little bit absent, when I've been a little bit better at posting. We'll go through all of it. So yeah. Okay, let's start with January recap. Well, January was weird. January was rough. Now, I found the jeans. Wait, was that December? I don't remember. So the jeans were great. The rest of it has been suspect. So if you haven't already, I talk about, seeing the new neurologist and how that went. I saw my immunologist and she did more blood work. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So I felt like January was gone in a blink of an eye because I was going to so many doctors. I've already met my out-of-pocket max. I paid $4 to see the dermatologist today. So I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. So I had a hospital visit. I had Toradol and a steroid for that nerve issue. Unfortunately, that nerve issue is back. And I'm trying to get a second opinion, but I have to have somebody look at the MRI first. And I don't have anything scheduled with either of those surgeons because that's the whole reason why I wanted a second opinion. So I have to see my pain management doctor. I see her week after next. Or is it Monday? I don't know. I see her in the next couple of weeks. So I have to get her to make some notes about the MRI so they can go ahead and process that. And I can hopefully talk to another surgeon. Natasha? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm going to pop up your name in your comment. She's kind of been commenting along since I did my, y'all have a diagnosis video or whatever, because her family has FSHD, has a history of FSHD. And she watched the video where I talk about the neurologist being like, pfft. And she told me about a doctor, Dr. Peter Jones. Peter Jones? Hold on, excuse me. Yeah, he's at the university. Yeah, Peter Jones, PhD. He is at the University of Reno in Nevada, and he has created his own test to detect FSHD. So she told me about him, and she's like, reach out. And so I did. I reached out and kind of gave him a synopsis of what everything was happening, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, I'm sorry that happened. He said mainstream gets it wrong almost all of the time. He said, I'm going to enroll you and send you a kit if you want to. And he said, if it comes back negative, we'll help you figure out what's going on. And he immediately got back to me. I just got my kit, so I have to do my saliva test, etc., and send that back to him. I had the opportunity to get results or don't get results. I decided to get results. So unfortunately, it's not, he can't say that it's to diagnose you because you can have something come up on genetic testing that you don't, it's not pathogenic, you're not in the middle of it, whatever. So we'll see, but I saw my regular doctor. I love my regular doctor. You guys know I love my primary care physician. And he's like, why are you doing another test? I said, well, he wants to enroll me. And he's like, no, why are you doing another test? I said, I have to. He's like, no, why are you doing another test? He said, if you feel like this test is 100% accurate on the nose, in blood, whatever. He's like, why are you going through getting another test? And I was like, just shut the neurologist up. He said, okay. I said, I want to be able to prove her wrong. I said, and Rob was with me. And I said, that appointment was a joke. I said, we were there. She was in the room with us for 7 or 8 minutes. She spent probably 5 of those minutes trying to talk about how her neurologists were so good. And I was just like, and Rob's like, yeah, he's like, it was a wasted appointment. She just went on. And I said, they may be good to other people, but they weren't good to me. And I said the same thing that I've been saying this whole entire time. I said, you cannot tell me that if I was 160 pounds presenting these same symptoms that you wouldn't have pushed further. I said, they're a teaching hospital, and they I don't know. Well, you're a research hospital. Can you refer me to someone around that can maybe help me out or whatever? So I said, I said, I'm done. And he's like, if it were me and you were a family member, I would encourage you to go to the Mayo Clinic. And I said, if this test comes back negative, that might be something that we just have to bite the bullet on. But we're looking at like $5,000-$6,000 maybe. That's future Misty's problem. That's future Misty's problem. I'm going to lose my headband. So that's kind of what happened with that. So that's the kit. I'm going to take the kit. He didn't say how long it would take to get results. I'm going to get that back in the mail and just wait and see what happens. And again, if it comes in positive, then I'm just going to, that's what I have. There's no treatment. So it doesn't, like, there's no thing to think about. Like, I don't even, like, okay, there's no treatment. Let me just know, that way I have an answer for all this muscle weakness, which is what I wanted this whole entire time. That's what I told my doctor. I was like, I wanted to drive and I wanted to be able to shower every day. That's all I've asked for out of this, is I wanted to be able to drive and I want to be shower every day. And I said, I can't. So I just have to make, just realize that this is the body that I have and this is what I have to live with. And I just have to grin and bear it. Sorry, I started to have dry mouth sounds and I hate that. So he's like, do I need blood work? I was like, no, I just had it done a couple of months ago. He looked at the MRI, we talked about the colonoscopy. It's like I went in with a list and yeah. So I see him again in 6 months. The appointment that was the most interesting was the one with the immunologist. So I think we talked about the visit that I saw her at the beginning of January. And she was like, I really think we should try IVIG. And she was looking into that and going to get it set up. And then she was going to run some more tests. So she tested B cells. Listen, I am not a doctor or a nurse. I don't even pretend to be one. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn last night. But it's basically how the white blood cells travel from the bone marrow through your body. So that's what it tested. And I haven't been sleeping well. It was like 2:30 in the morning. I'm lying in bed, trying not to wake up Rob. I get an email from LabCorp and I'm like, oh, okay. And oh my God. Oh my God. When I tell you that this blood work was terrifying, it was terrifying. I'll pop up a little video that I took. Half of the tests were either very high or very low. And all of them were in like markers for lupus and MS and stuff. And I was just like, I was sitting there going, I filmed a Wednesday video and I decided to wait to post it and then I just forgot. But I said in that video, I was like, is she going to find the answer? Like, is she going to find the answer? Because I've said a lot, I've asked and asked and asked, could this be MS? Is this MS? And no, you don't have any brain lesions. It's not MS. Okay. And then it's like, okay, what in the hell? So I was talking to like Deb and my friend Jessica and I was like, what is this blood work? What is it? Terrifying. So we see her and she walks in. She's like, Misty, this is the blood work. I said, that blood work is Willy Wonka. I said, what is going on? And she said that, she's like, some of this could probably be explained with methotrexate. She's like, but it doesn't make sense how so many of them are really low or so many of them are really high. And she's like, you're on the methotrexate. I said, yeah, and I'm on Symphony Aria too. And she's like, bingo. She's like, oh, she's like, yeah, that would cause these numbers to be this way. So I'm basically I just have immunodeficiency. I have an autoimmune response and then I don't have any immune response to other things. So here's the situation. She doesn't know if this blood work is caused by me, like my actual immune system in my body, what it's doing, or if it's being caused by the drugs. So the Symphony Aria infusion and the methotrexate, which is a chemo drug. And she said, we'd have to wean you off of that for 3 to 6 months and then test, and then we would know for sure what it is. And she said, but I don't know that you want to do that. And I said, I am willing to do whatever. Except the nerve conduction study. So I said, I'm willing to do whatever. I said, cut me open, run all the tests that you need to do. I said, I am willing to do whatever to get to the answer. I said, so if I need to get off that for a while, she said, you really need to talk to your rheumatologist about IVIG. She said, because if the infusions aren't working, that's where you go next. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to give it another year or so because IVIG, I felt so much better on IVIG. but it was 2 days a month hooked up to an IV. And that was like, I was going to get a port. And all this happened. So anyway, she's like, I don't think IVIG is the way to go for you right now. She said, you haven't been very sick. She's like, you're not having reoccurring infections other than your sinuses. She said, I had, someone who's on Symphony Aria who was in the hospital like 3 different times in 3 weeks. And finally someone's like, oh, something's going on here. And she's positive for CVID. She said, so I've seen this blood work before and I have another patient with it. She's like, she's like, I feel like this would be a detriment more than it would be helpful. She's like, because it'll make you really fatigued afterward, really tired for a few days. And she's like, I know that you already have issues with your muscles and stuff. She's like, so I just don't think it's the best fit right now. And I said, that's fine. I trust you. So we're not doing IVIG. Again, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with it. But it is something I'm going to talk to my rheumatologist about, because the Symphony Aria works, but it's not like 100%. And I don't know if anything will be 100%, but like a week before. So we're a week out. Next week is when I have my infusion, and my knuckles are already swelling. I have most of my arthritis in my hands. So it's like, okay, it's every 8 weeks, and it's like, okay, is it real? Like, am I getting all of it? Well, everything that I need. So anywho, she's like, I'm going to reach out to your rheumatologist and kind of talk to her. She said, and you guys can decide if you want to come off those medications and then us do the blood work. And I said, okay. So she's like, make an appointment, see me in 6 months, and we'll talk again. I said, okay. So that's kind of what's going on with the immunologist. We're kind of in a holding pattern until I talk to the rheumatologist next week. So there's that. So that's kind of the recap for January 1st of February, is that the neurologist is, and the immunologist from there is, but the immunologist that I'm seeing now, I love her. Like, I really do. And I told her, I said, you are one of the only doctors that has gone further. I said, everybody else is like, I don't know, you're fine, I don't know. And she's like, I don't understand that, because UT Southwestern is a teaching and research hospital. I said, exactly. I said, that's what I've been saying. It's like, push, like, let's keep going. And it's like, I'm lucky that we have insurance. Again, we've already met the max, but it's like, let's test while I've met the max. Let's do all the tests that, that can be covered by insurance. Biopsy a muscle, do whatever we need to do to figure out what the hell. Because if we don't, then I'm just done. Like, just done. D-O-N-E, done. So I have been eating poorly. So let's talk about that. So if you are someone who doesn't want to hear about like weight loss and stuff, this is where you want to exit stage left or stage right. But yeah, so I didn't set a weight loss goal for 2024. I did 2023. I wanted to lose 100 pounds. I probably did it 6 times. And I was basically the same exact weight this January as well as last January. So there's that. But I have put on some weight. Some of it is definitely like inflammation. I'm taking 2 water pills a day the last couple of days to try to get it off of me. But I am weighing in for February at 340 pounds. And I believe that's a 7 pound up from last month. I'll have to go back and see. I don't remember. But I knew it would be that, because I was just a couple pounds heavier than that when we'd gone to the doctor. And what's funny is I went to one doctor on one floor. Wait, was that the same floor? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Oh, my brain. So anyway, 340. And I'm not setting a weight loss goal. I'm not going to do it. I'm not setting a numbers goal. I will get on the scale when I feel like it, when I just kind of want to know what's going on. I don't want that to be the focus. Like, you guys, if you haven't been with me for a while, if you don't know, I can get fixated on the numbers. And I am the type of person that will throw the baby out with bathwater. I don't know what that means really, but it's like burn it to the ground. That's why I've changed my verbiage from setting goals to setting intentions, intending that, I can not put that kind of pressure on me. So anyway, it's a whole thing. This headband. Anyway, so 340 pounds. I have been eating whatever I've wanted to. And finally got tired of that yesterday. I told her, I was like, I'm done. I was like, I'm done. It's like, I'm ready to go back. I'm ready to go back keto carnivore. So that's kind of what my plan is. Now, I'm not counting macros because, again, numbers. I'm going to try to keep up with my ketones just to see if I'm in ketosis, etc. As a reminder, keto isn't like, the food you eat. It's the food you don't eat. So you get into ketosis by starving your body of carbohydrates. So if you eat low enough, your body will naturally go into ketosis unless there's something wrong with you. And I try to keep on top of it because I had ketoacidosis a few years ago. So that's kind of the meal plan, whatever, for going forward. And I'm like, am I going to do just low carb for a while? Am I just going to, and I may do that. That's kind of how I was able to do that 21-day water fast, is I just kind of started like coming down on food. And as my body was, naturally no longer hungry, I wasn't eating, and I was able to do that. So I eat intuitively, meaning I eat when I'm hungry and I don't when I don't. Now, I will tell you, this Wegovy, I can have just finished a meal and my stomach will growl as if I haven't eaten. So the Wegovy messes that up, but I do my best to kind of stay on top of it and really ask myself, are you hungry, or are you bored, or are you sad, or are you whatever? So that's definitely something that I need to keep in mind. So for my word of the month, so my word of the year is self. And I've broken that down into like self-compassion, self-care, self-esteem, all of these things. And my word for February is routine. And this may also be my word for March. I need to get back into my routine. I had a good routine where I would wake up in the morning, shower or not shower, medicine, drink coffee, brush my teeth, come in here and do my skincare, do body care, get my day started. At night, I would kind of do the same thing, but backwards. I would take my pills, do my body care, come in here, do my skincare, get ready to go to bed, throw meditation and stuff in there as well. And I just haven't been doing that. And I suffer, my body suffers for sure. So that's definitely going to be like my main focus as far as like my word of the month. My kind of overarching theme for this month and probably the next 6 months is self-compassion. So I, like many people, am nicer and more empathetic to others than I am to myself. And I do consider myself an empath, and I know there's kind of, science or psychology about that, where that's a true thing, or you're just, you had so much trauma in your childhood, you had to tune your, whatever. I'm an empath. And that's why I've had to go like no angst after COVID. Like I can't read a book where someone is hurt or sad or whatever. Like I can't handle that. So anyway, because I take on the emotions of, like if it's a TV show, then I take on the emotions of the character. That's why I had to give up Grey's Anatomy. It just gotten to be where I was just like, I had to talk to somebody the next day and I was like, Misty, what in God's name are you doing? So it's also why I comfort read a lot. I've read a series by an author like 65 times, and that's not an exaggeration. Like I reread it over and over and over again because I know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So I'm very empathetic and sympathetic and just kind to strangers more than I am to myself. Like more than I am to myself. So what self-compassion looks like for me is set realistic expectations. I mean, I was like, I'm going to lose 33 pounds in 2 weeks. It wasn't going to happen. I think that's a little bit exaggerated, but you know what I mean. Like it's setting realistic goals. Like that's why I don't want to do a number goal. I just want to do like, get my physical and emotional intentions going. So I'm being kinder to me. And the second is, being kinder to my body. I know that carbs cause inflammation. I know this. And they also cause me to have really bad joint pain. And like, it's not worth it in the long run. But we talked about this before. I feel like I've been weaponizing food against myself. So in hopes to get away from that, I really want to focus on being like self-compassion. And one of the things I talked to with my therapist about was like, I struggle with envy, especially since I've been sick and home and I can't do as much. Like if something happens to someone else, my very first thought is like, ugh. But today I had that in my brain. I was like, nope, congratulations to her. I'm so happy for her. Like I'm trying to rewrite this, CD in my brain. So that's kind of where my head is as far as like self-compassion. Like I want to be more cognizant of that. So that is definitely something that's going to be a big theme the next few months. And routine is part of that because I need to be compassionate to my body. My skin is part of my body. Like just sitting down and meditating and just being peaceful and just trying to be in the moment. I feel like that's really important. As far as intentions, for emotional intentions, I need to get back to meditating. We talked about safe, calm place at Bar Harbor, Maine. So it's like I finally have something to visualize when I'm like praying or meditating. Because I didn't really have that before. And I'm very much a concrete learner. I don't do well with abstract things. That's why I like to get like stuff. It's because like I want to see the fruits of my labor. Like I want to see, I want to prize or whatever. Sorry. Oh, dry mouth. So yeah. So that's kind of like emotional. And then again, setting realistic goals, just trying to get into this routine. I really think that if I get back into the routine of, just doing everything for me, encompassing that self-care, the kind of, spa-like self-care that is very popular, and then go from there. For relationships, I honestly don't know what I want to do. My issue is that I've always had a 3 strikes and you're out rule. Like if I've reached out, tried to schedule something, try to call you, try to text you, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and you always cancel or there's an excuse or blah, 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 then I'm just done. You know what I mean? Like I'm just done. Like I'm done. It takes a lot for me to cut you out of my life, but once you're gone, you're gone. There's a meme, I'll try to remember to pop it up, that came up the other day on my Facebook feed. I'm like, yep. I'd shared it a couple years ago. It's like, it takes a long time for me to dislike you. Like I have to be at the end of my rope to dislike you and not want you in my life. So I don't know. I know that I want to focus more on Rob. I need to make sure that his cup is getting filled, and right now, no, it's not. So I really want him to be the focus for at least, he needs to always be the focus because he's my husband, but I really want to put more focus. He's about to enter a busy season where he's going to be working 70 hours a week. So I want to be able to kind of give him, rest. I want him to be able to rest and rest well. So that's kind of the relationship. Physical, it's going to be sticking to whatever meal way of eating I decide on. Like I said, I may kind of taper down. It may be low carb for a little bit, like with the tortillas and the bagels, etc. And then we kind of work our way to keto, and then final destination, maybe carnivore. I know some people have issues with meat. I don't have issues with meat. In fact, I feel my best when I'm on carnivore. But I have been eating carbs, standard American diet, for almost the last year and a half. And so I have to kind of wean myself off that. Now I've had bits here and there where I'm doing really well and then something will happen and I'm just like, yep, burn it out, burn it to the ground. I'm done. I'll wait till Monday. So yeah, I'll try to pop up a picture of it, but I bought this jar. It's a reward jar for classroom, but it came with like a jar, and you can put, it's kind of like Plinko on Price is Right where you drop the thing. Anyway, you get like 60 of them and you drop them in, and it's normally like behavior or something like that. But for me, it's going to be sticking to my way of eating to start. And then I feel like going forward, rather than just me getting, a little token for sticking to plan that day, I want it to be where I stick to plan when something happens or, when I don't want to, like if I really, really, really want a tamale or something like that, and I convince myself that it's okay to have it, if I can talk myself out of that, then I want to be able to do that. And I feel like that's when I give myself a reward. Now, I don't know what those are going to translate to. They may not translate to money. They may just translate, to an experience or something like that. I'm not really sure. I haven't thought that far ahead. But I'm a concrete person. I need a physical kind of reminder of what I'm doing. And I know my weight and my inches can do that, but I don't feel like weight. I don't feel like measuring. That takes a lot out of me, because you guys know, I can't hold my arms up very long. So anyway, I just don't want to bother with measurements. Weight, yeah, but measurements, no. And yes, I do know that you'll lose inches faster than you'll lose weight on the scale. Listen, I've been doing this since 2017. I should be 102 pounds by now. But that's one thing that I've been working on. And that's part of that self-compassion is I have to stop relying on food when I am emotional, whatever that is. But I've mentioned before that I kind of was groomed, not in a bad way necessarily, but my grandmother was like, if I was upset, have some food. Like that kind of supercharged it, you know what I mean? That got me started. And then, over the years, it's just been shopping and food. So I'm really trying to curb that. And it's not me going like, setting these being compassionate and not setting unrealistic goals. So I'm not going to say I'm going to do it how many times, etc. I just want to stick to plan. And I think what that's going to be is like a bulletproof coffee in the morning, heavy cream and butter, and then, one meal. And that's kind of where I want to be with that. And so, excuse me. Yeah. Financial. Has anybody else been personally offended by Mother Nature and their gas bill here in Texas? Our gas bill tripled because of that cold spell that we had. Like, Lord have mercy on my soul. And then we had to switch insurance companies. I was like, I'm tired of adulting. This is exhausting. So we were with Farmers for our home insurance, and we were with Geico for our car insurance. And Farmers was like, we're no longer, offering, you have to bundle to be with Farmers. And it was going to be stupid expensive. So I was looking at Progressive. I looked at all of these kind of smaller companies or bigger companies thinking that, maybe it'll be a little bit cheaper or what. I don't even remember what I was doing, but I'm like, let me just check State Farm and tell me why State Farm was like $3,000 cheaper than everybody else. And I was like, okay. So we switched to State Farm. So we had to pay up front, but we will be getting a refund from Geico. And then escrow happens next month. So we're going to have to get the check from Farmers and send it in for that. We're going to have to pay escrow next year. We may not have to do it this year, but I know we're going to have to do it next year. So we have to get tires. So we filed our taxes and we're actually getting a refund. So I'm on the hunt for tires. I don't want to get the ones that we had before. They were Firestone blah, blah, blah. That literally failed with less than 20,000 miles on them. Riddle me that, Batman. So I'm like, I don't want them. And Consumer Reports has recommended some Michelin ones. They're a little bit more expensive. We just need to. So that's something that's on our financial. Oh, and it's tag renewal month here. So there's a lot on our plate financially this month. So my goal is to, spend less as much as I can. I really want to try to not eat out maybe twice a month the next couple of months, just to kind of, just kind of curb that. And he just got some reward cards for Saltgrass, so we will be going out for that, but that'll be free. We won't have to worry about it. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on this month for February, and I feel like we're already halfway done. I know it's just the first week, but man alive, it's just been so fast and quick to me. And again, I think it's because I've gone to so many flipping doctor's appointments, and I have 4 more this month. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So, yeah. It's my sincere hope that this works out for me. My therapist and I are going to do 2 every other week. I don't know if we're going to make it. She's lovely. I really do enjoy talking to her, but I don't know if I need something a little different. I don't know. It doesn't help that I need a new, like, I'm going to talk to my psychiatrist this month and be like, okay, I'm ready to change antidepressants, because I have been so depressed the last couple of weeks. It's been like, I want to go to bed at 6 o'clock every day. And it's like, oh, is it like 9? We're up like it's 6:30. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, I really need to, and we talked about it last year, and I was like, I'm not ready. I wasn't in the right headspace to do that. I had so many things going on. I feel like I can handle it right now. Because to me, the kind of FSHD is settled. Like, if this comes back negative, then we'll figure out whatever's next. But if it comes back positive, then I'm settled that that's what this is. And if no one else agrees with me, that's fine. I agree with me. And I was thinking today, is like, I wonder if some of the issues aren't visible because of my size. And so it'll be interesting to see if I have any more prominent features. Like, I have this buffalo hump on my back, and it's not from Cushing's. It's not Cushing's. So I wonder if it isn't the FSHD, because on that, your shoulder blades, or your shoulders, are a little bit lower than your neck, like lower than they should be. And I feel like that's happening. So I don't know. Again, we'll have to wait and see until I lose some weight. So February is a hurry up and wait situation, which you guys know I love that. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. My hair is thinner than ever before. Although I will say I'm using Bondi Boost HG line. So not Bondi Sands, Bondi Boost. And while I'm not growing hair because I'm on methotrexate, it is stopping the amount of shedding. There's not, excuse me, oh my word. There's not as much shedding in the shower when I wash my hair now. So yeah, this is probably rambly. Listen, Linda, listen. My back issue is back. My back issue is back. The issue I was having at the beginning of the month is back. And I'm going to talk to my pain management doctor about possibly starting facet injections for my rib cage and my thoracic spine, and go from there. I don't know what to do, you guys. I don't know what to do. So hopefully I will get a firm conclusion from this third opinion and go from there. Like, again, this disease can cause somebody to be quadriplegic, and I don't want to speed that up. You only get one back. Like, do we do a laminectomy or do we do a fusion? Like, what do we do? So yeah. All right, friends, that's it. So I don't know that I'm going to vlog or anything like that. I don't know. Oh, that's why I was kind of gone, for a little bit. It's because this immunologist and this blood work and stuff, and I was just like, holy crap on a cracker. I haven't been eating like I should. I haven't been eating like I should. Last night I had gizzards. Oh my gosh, they were so good. I know when I'm having a rough time because I crave childhood foods. Like, I haven't had fried potatoes since Rob and I first got together, and I'm like, the other day I was like, ooh, I want some fried potatoes and some like butter beans or Great Northern beans with some cornbread and some neck bone. Give me all of that. So okay, that's it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. I love you so very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.